Hello, everyone. This is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 93 of Direwolf20's FTB Skies Expert Let's Play Through. Today, I think the plan is we're going to build a microfusion extrapolator. If I'm not mistaken, I have all the things I need for that. Hooray, I do. Nice. Between episodes, I made one ultimate induction provider, and that was so painful that I gave up and stole one out of the multi-block here. So this one actually has one less than we had before. But, you know, your max input is still 157 million RF per tick or FE per tick. So, like, I think we'll be all right. Yeah. And if I ever have to make more, I can always make it. It just took a long time to make because there's a lot of crafting involved. So that said, I've completed my microfusion extrapolator, which got me a bunch of lead crystals, which I'm very pleased about. And now we're gonna pop into, my goodness, my inventory is a mess, isn't it? It always is. It's a standard dire inventory mess situation going on here. We might want to throw a quantum singularity in that dimension, but we'll see. But for now, the plan shall be to pop in there, build the RTG generator. We should also probably get a Geiger counter. Is that what it's called? Yeah, one of those dudes. No problemo. Bing, bang, boom. What are these guys? Brass. Okay. Yep. Come on. Thank you. Just so we can keep an eye on things as we start placing our RTG generator. So the microfusion extrapolator. Let's see what's involved in this dude, because I have no idea what to expect in terms of I'm never a fan of how this works, but I think you have to do this. Okay, cool. Got it. Cool. Okay, makes sense. So we're gonna need some fluid tanks, we're gonna need some heat sinks. I did already make this thing. I started down the path of making the things that I need to make, but I wanted to like see it before I, went ahead and decided. So we want some calorite pillars. Okay, and for that we're going to need some calorite plating. Oh, that doesn't seem so bad. Right, calorite plating. So we get 8 of those per, right? So I assume... Oh, you're making all the different types of TNT, right? That's what's taking so long. And what are these? Iron plating from Ad Astra. Okay, cool. And then we do that, and that'll get me 8. Now I need 13, so I need to do that again. And this time I have to make these guys. Not a big deal, though, apparently. Okay, and then you. And then 14 will work for me. Cool. I also need 6 fluid tanks. Easy peasy. I got my reinforced energizer already. I need some vibrant quartz glass. For quartz glass. We're going to need 5 of these. Just make 10. That works. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then heat sinks, I think, are pretty easy for us at this point, too, right? I think. So there's 3. I need 5 in total. And I'm going to keep this up a level because, remember, I can't break through this ground, right? So, yeah. So vibrant quartz glass, and then the last thing I need are 9 heat sinks. So for that, we're going to need some compressed iron plates and some gold plates. We'll get 10 of you, 20 of you, and that should be cool. And then we should probably get some more iron bars while we're at it, just to save the crafting in the future. Oh, that's right, you need plates, don't you? Yeah. See, I knew I was going to need them. 8, and one more batch, 9. Cool. All right, let's do it up. So now microfusion extrapolator is going to look like this. So we're going to want you, and then you, then you. Yeah, it's weird. You have to like be in the UI and then look at JEI and then click the button. Like it's very. Oh, that's right, and I don't have flight here. That's going to be annoying. That's going to be exceedingly annoying. Can I assume that the vibrant quartz glass is just not rendering? And that the back is where the vibrant quartz glass goes? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's probably the case, right? Oh, that is not a thing. So yeah, let's assume... So there's only room for 3 there, so... Not quite sure what that's about. Guess we'll figure it out. And then we're going to have to figure out flight in here. And then I'm going to say maybe it goes... So heat sinks are definitely on top, right? It's not complaining about my vibrant quartz glass being where it is, so I'm going to guess that that's correct. And this, and then this. Why do I need more of that, though? That doesn't really quite make... Oh, you know what? The front. Yep, that's where the front is that. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to assume that the heatsink should be on top like that, right? And that's cool? Microfusion extrapolator. All right, so what recipes exist in here? Is this literally just for uranium crystals? Is that it? I guess. And then liquid elemental void needs to go in there. You know, now in fairness, how was I getting these before? Flux infused gen and ultramap. I mean, these two are not terrible of a recipe. This one a little bit of effort, but it's not horrible. It does require a diamond though. But this is just like lava, which we have an unlimited amount of right now, and this is liquid elemental earth, which we also have relatively an unlimited amount of right now. So this isn't like a huge boost, I guess. And to be fair, I'm trying to like debate if this is like that much better. It doesn't seem all that much better. Right? Well, whatever. Let's do this. Let's get some liquid elemental void. Can I get a bucket's worth of that? Thank you. And maybe a few extra buckets for later, because I'm sure I'm going to need them. And I assume that goes in there. And then you're going to need some kind of flux-based power, which we'll probably need something more than this later, but for now we can just pop this dude down. Seems good enough to me. Do you actually need power? You may not even need power. Yeah, he doesn't even connect. Alright, so no power for you. Okay. And then the lead crystals go in there. And then you just need some heat. And that's where the RTG generator comes in. So we pop this dude here. Now, if we want, we can also quantum entangloper heat, right? So what we should be doing... I think we have one quantum entangloper, or did I use it? No, we have one. But can I make another? Apparently, yes. Gonna take a hot minute, but yeah. But the proper approach to this would be to set up our RTG generators, and like have them outputting heat like this. Cool. So we'll call this the heat channel. This will be public, and side config for heat. Input output. So realistically, I just want you to input. Oh, I guess input output is my only option. Okay. So I guess heat can only input or output. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that looks good, right? So then, so you're generating some form of temperature just by existing. And then when we put uranium in there, that's going to be cool, right? And then this dude... His temp is already 300, right? But he needs, what does he need temperature-wise? He consumes 250 heat, and he needs the liquid elemental void and the lead crystal. So I assume that there's some threshold? just says 250 heat. So I guess we have to, like, build it up somehow. Alright, how's that quantum entangleover coming along? We're getting there. We're just waiting on a few more of these. I think I'll be back when it's done. How's that sound? Yeah, be right back. Alright, quantum entangleover. Should be good to go. I might make another one, just make another 2, right? Takes a long time to make them, so yeah, might as well kick it off. Wow, look how all of a sudden we have 11 crafts going. Did I mention I bumped myself up to 16 crafters because I have so many like on-demand keep in stock things going on? Anyway, yeah, your job now is to be heat. Cool. So now, in theory, what should happen... Oh, look at you doing something. So are you balancing heat? Is that what you're doing? I can't quite tell. Oh. So let's do this. Let's get you a uranium. Yellow cake. Look, don't eat. So now you're generating energy, and that's cool. Now what I should do is get some flux plugs and some flux points. Because we're going to want to make sure that this energy goes somewhere. Remember it said it'll like stop running if it's full on energy? So you don't want to let that happen. Because the main purpose that we're running this for is not to create energy, but in fact to create heat, right? So we want to basically ensure the energy is always going somewhere. Now I kind of regret kicking off a gigantic craft 5 seconds ago, but that's okay. And I assume now that we are building up... Oh, look at that. Yeah, here we're doing some radioactivity. Nice. Okay, cool. And hey, you're doing your thing. Wow, we actually have a lot of heat being produced here. That's cool. That's cool. And then this thing runs for like a while, right? 10,000 ticks. Which I have to get out math. 10,000 ticks divided by 20 ticks in a second is 500 seconds. Divided by 60 seconds is 8.3 minutes. So this will run for about, 8.5 minutes, roughly. And that seems pretty cool. Now, the other ones can run for... Wow, that's a lot of ticks. That's more or less. I can't even tell. Commas, people. Commas. I promise you, it's not hard to put commas in your numbers. 5, 1, 8, 4. So like 3 zeros, and then 840, and then 51. 3 zeros, 920, and 25. So plutonium burns for twice as long as polonium, I'm going to say, roughly speaking. Yeah, that seems about right. And I'm not going to... Well, I guess I could do the math for you, just because. So if we wanted to look at that, and we wanted to get out a calculator here... 518,400,000 is 51,840,000 ticks. Divided by 20 ticks, divided by 60 is 43,200 minutes. Divided by 60 is 724 hours. Divided by 24 hours in a day is 30 days. So this will run for 30 days of in-game time. So basically forever. You might as well just say forever at that point. So that's cool. And you're just taking your sweet time. Duration 50 ticks. So it shouldn't be that long. This should be like really quick. I don't know why that line is there. Is it that we don't have enough liquid? No, it's only 100 liquid elemental void. 250 heat. Is it 250k heat? Oh, here's your problem. Our energy's full. Yeah. Remember when I was talking about don't let your energy fill up? I didn't listen to myself. So I think we're just waiting on some crafting freedom. Let's go get that resolved. Also, we should probably chunk load this area. Just to ensure it stays loaded. Yeah, but it's not running because... because power. We filled up our buffer. So yeah, the whole point was make sure not to let your buffer fill up. What in the world is going on here that you can't make me silver plates right now? Yeah, you're probably making a bunch of silver for stuff, aren't you? Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Alright, I'll come back when it's done with all the crafting. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. We set up over here a new generators network. Standard approach, right? There we go, and make it red. Create generators, good. Cool. Bypass limit, no need for a limit. And then in here, this dude goes on the generators network. Now, if we wind up having more, then we'll deal with that, right? Now, why are you not doing anything with that? This area like not junk loaded or something? No, totally junk loaded. Induction port? Maybe? Possibly it needs a new port? I would expect... I thought these flux ducts could kind of like... I thought it was this version where they kind of like do unlimited, right? So now I'm questioning... Did I do something wrong here? That's the point. Yep. Everything looks cool to me. You know what we could do is we could just toss down a cube real quick. I happen to have one of those laying around while we wait. And then on the top side could be an input. Are you doing anything? Nope. Okay. Well, that tells me something. So top side input. Energy transferring equals 0. What is the dealio? Flux. You know, let's get universal cable. Yeah, we'll start with this one. Is that cool? Oh, you need that stuff. I don't have that automated yet. Maybe at some point we shall do that. You like filling up in here? Don't do that. Don't do that. Nobody wants that to happen. Okay, so let's do... Input. Starting to question how this works. Like, you need to, like, be pulled out of, because that's not how Forge Energy is supposed to work. Okay. Here's how we're going to play this. Make sure on the right face there. You're going to extract. And you're going to insert. And I might even bump you up. Though I think you only do like 80 ARF a tick, right? So you should have no problem handling that small amount. Yeah, you have to extract. See, I know laser iode not only accepts energy, but it actually pulls energy, which is not how Forge Energy is supposed to work. But yeah, so you actually have to extract out of that thing. So if I did this now, you should be keeping that empty, and now you should be getting heat, and you should be running. Well, I feel like you're slower than you should be. Because didn't it say 50 ticks? 50 ticks is 2.5 seconds. So what's taking so long? Microfusion extrapolator. Maybe you're low on Maybe you don't have enough radioactivity in the air? I don't know. But hey, now at least we have an answer for what's going on. All right, so now you're running, so that's cool. So I should be able to now ditch you and then put this guy here. And that is now working. ADR of a tick. Nice. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so it produces ADR of a ticket. So the 1,000 without the overclockers should be more than sufficient. Sweet. Yeah, because it's not really about the energy. It's more about the heat that it's producing that we need. And the radioactivity for this bit, actually. So, yeah. Okay. So that's cool. I wonder if I could sneak... And I'll probably have to, like... I'll probably have to rearrange this area a little bit, but I wonder if I could squeeze some reactor turbine stuff going on in here. Maybe? We'll have to see. But in terms of quests, that is now complete, right? So now what we could do is work towards this dude, which is like our next big goal. Now, before I start working on this, one thing I'd like to look at is, believe it or not, I'd like to look at doing turbines. So I know there's like a power chapter, right? Powering up. And that's going to be, you know, our big reactor. Yeah, and the industrial turbine. No big rewards for that. That said, I got to imagine antimatter or something is one of the quests in the end game. So I might want to start that now. So let's flip through these and see if there's anything mechanism fusion-y required. Right? None of this looks too crazy, to be honest with you, so far. I mean, there's stuff, but like, you know. Arcane sands, portable cells, formation stuff. A bunch of that, not terrible. Plutonium pellets. Boom. There you go. Plutonium pellets. You need to do fusion reactor for plutonium pellets. So definitely going to need at least some going on there. Not terrible, not terrible. That we already know how to make. And I expected antimatter at some point, but I'm actually surprised that I'm not seeing it. There's antimatter. Nah, spoke too soon. So yeah, we definitely need to, if we want to complete the end game quests, we're going to absolutely need to do some antimatter. So I'm thinking it's only 5 that we need, but as a reminder, antimatter takes a really long time to get. Like, painfully long, unless you get like an absurdly large reactor. So I'm thinking what we probably want to do is, so if we got uranium, yellow cake uranium, which we have, right? That's going to go to the uranium oxide plus hydrofluoric acid, which I think we already have going on, right? And that becomes uranium hexafluoride. So the production chain for this should be not terrible, because I think we already have like 90% of it complete. We literally just have to combine the last 2 pieces. So I think we should probably look at doing a reactor now. So let's do that. Let's look at doing a reactor real quick. I might move these things around a little bit just for the sake of, you know, moving things around a little bit. But then that would seems cool, right? You're going to run out of power pretty soon. So yeah, if I move this into the corner, we could sneak our reactors here and here. I think we'd be all right. I think we'd be great, actually. So let's do that. So let's go home and start talking reactor and turbine, right? Because A, it wouldn't hurt to have another source of power gen, and then B, it would be a way for us to get, you know, everything we want to get. Okay, so let's look at reactors from mechanism, and I'm gonna have to remember everything that I usually do for them. I have a copy and paste structure for my standard reactor, but I don't think it'll work in the 1.19 version. Well, Fission casings are a little bit more complex. 32 lead plates and radiation shielding. Now, luckily, we know how to make all this, and we have ultramafic lot. So not something that we can't already make, but wow, that's a lot. And then we're going to need fission reactor ports. That's a standard recipe. Fission reactor logic adapter. That we definitely want some of those. Fission fuel assemblies. Luckily, we know how to make all that stuff. What else do we want? Reactor glass and control rod assemblies, right? Reactor glass. Control rod assemblies. Not terrible. Casing and fuel assembly. Did I get it all? I think so. I think we got that one right. Yes. Okay. So most of this, with the exception of the first one, is like the standard recipes, right? But this guy, fission reactor casings, is going to be in a quantum assembler, which is this thing. Yep. Okay, so you go there, and now we have to make things, right? So like, let's start with making, so for reactor ports, I usually need 2. Luckily, I can look at the blueprint that I made and look at the number of blocks that I need. So we'll see if I did this correctly or not. So you're going to make a whole bunch of lead plates, and then you're going to drop that in here, and that should be cool, right? I don't know. We'll find out. This might be a whole lot of crafting. And if it is, I'll probably just do it all between episodes. All right, so I'm going to say 120-ish reactor casing is what I need. Now, we don't have quite enough ultramafic lava, but that's only because we don't have a big enough container for it. But we could address that real quick by making a bigger tank. Advanced. Let's do elite. Can't hurt to have a little extra. Going that extra mile. Not so bad. So I kicked off most of the other things that I need, with the exception of the casings. And then what I'll probably also do between episodes is program the recipes for all the turbine stuff. Let's look at those real quick while we're waiting for this, just so I can understand what a mess I'm in for, right? So if I open up that dude, right, and see what that looks like. What we're talking about there is going to be some electromagnetic coils, don't look terrible. Saturating condensers, don't look terrible. Rotational complex, not terrible. Turbine valves and blades, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. I can teach that. Graphite electrodes, yeah, I can get some of those. Not a big deal there. Turbine valve, not a big deal. Turbine casings are going to be osmium plates. I can make that happen in ultramafic lava. Yeah, that doesn't look terrible. That doesn't look terrible at all. So yeah, we can 100%. Yeah, it's not terrible. And we have that already. So yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah. So that's the play, right? Between episodes, I will get all this stuff ready to go. I will set up all the auto crafting. I will do all the auto crafting. And then when we come back next episode, we can put it all together. Does that sound like a plan? I think so. Now, are you going to ever get me my iron plates, or are you just working on too many other things at the moment? See, we just speed it up a little bit. There you go. We'll just swap this out with this. We'll put that in there so that it drains. And now we have enough to get our 120 of these. Nice. And then you're just, you know, cruising, right? Like, you're just doing your thing. Especially if it's daytime. Yeah, because solar. Right. All right, so let's wrap up the episode here. It might be a minute or two early, but that's okay. We will come back next time to put together a fission reactor and a turbine. And then we'll start building up antimatter, polonium, and plutonium. Deal? Sound cool? All right. For now, Adult 20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.